This is the Helix Epilog laser engraver. Let's review the basic operating procedures associated with the Epilog lasers. To activate the computer, insert your CMU ID into the card reader. The clearance indicator light will turn from blue to green, and the computer will boot up. Log in with your Andrew ID. To turn on the laser engraver, switch on the power button. The machine will energize and check its absolute limits. The laser engraver is now ready to load jobs. This is the pneumatic air for the machine. Make sure to turn on the air prior to running any job. On the computer, launch CorelDraw. Create a new document or open an existing CorelDraw file. In the new document window, enter an appropriate file name. Color mode should be set to RGB. The page size should match the same dimensions as the physical material being cut. A good resolution is 300 dpi. Click OK to apply. In CorelDraw, you'll see the work page. The page dimensions can be found up top and altered if need be. Rulers are located along the top and left side of the page. If you notice, the top ruler reads 0 to 12, starting at the upper left of the page. The side ruler also reads 0 to 12, but starts in the bottom left corner. The Epilog laser engravers read the top left corner as our origin point, 0, 0. To reset the rulers, click the Ruler Origin button and drag down to the top left corner of the page. The origin is correctly set. To open part files, go to File and select Import. Select your file. Vector parts are typically in DXF file format. Click Import. An Import AutoCAD box will appear. 3D selection should be set to top. It is important that Auto Reduce Nodes is checked. This reduces multiple copies of overlapping lines from being imported. Units are set to automatic, though you can manually choose. We want our parts dimensions to remain the same, so our project scaling will be set to a 1:1 ratio. Click OK to finalize. A corner will appear with the file's name and size. Click in the desired location to place the part. It is good practice to keep parts a minimum of 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. Finish importing any other parts or graphics. Selected parts can easily be resized by dragging their corners or by entering in exact dimensions in the window above. Snap options allow for easy alignment. The Epilog lasers differentiate between cutting and etching vectors by the line weight. To check the line weight, select the vector graphics. Line weights can be viewed in the Object Properties tab. If the Object Properties tab is not visible, right-click on the object and select Properties to launch the window. Under Object Properties, select Outline. The current thickness of our line weight is 0.255 points. Anything above 0.01 will register as etching, while hairline is recognized as cutting. Since we want this vector line to cut, select Hairline. If you have trouble selecting a part, it may be located under another part, though still visible. Right-click on the top part and select Order. Parts can be moved forwards or backwards. Select Move to the back of the page. This is a JPEG, so there are no line weights. This image can only be etched. Make any final adjustments to the part placement. When your file is ready, go to File and select Print. The Print Setup window will appear. For Printer, select the laser engraver you are using. Click the gear icon to go to Settings. These are the general Epilog settings. Job type denotes what form of laser engraving the machine will run. This can be useful if only certain parts of a file need run. Raster will only run the etching portions of the file. Vector will only run the cuts of the job. Combined will run both engraving and cutting. Piece size must match the dimensions of the Corel document page size. Raster settings control our engraving properties. Enter the recommended speed and power settings for the material being used. Engrave direction specifies whether the machine will start engraving from the top down or the bottom up. Image dithering controls the dot matrix pattern. The Stucky setting provides the tightest pattern. Below are the vector settings. Enter the recommended speed and power settings for the thickness and type of material being cut. Use caution when adjusting vector settings. Fire can result from setting the power too high or the speed too slow. Frequency is the rate at which the laser beam is fired. Use the recommended settings for the material. Vector sorting is checked and set to optimize. Automatic frequency is unchecked. The resolution standard for the epilogues is 600 dpi. Under Options, we have Autofocus. Autofocus uses the focus plunger attached to the head to automatically measure the material thickness and adjust the laser bed height to proper focal length. Though autofocus is easy to use, it can be an issue if the stock already has voids from previously cut parts. The focal plunger could miss the material and become embedded in the honeycomb laser bed, causing damage to the machine. If you are using previously cut material, please do not use autofocus. Center engraving should be left unchecked. Advanced settings deal with job file handling and preset configurations. Color mapping allows us to control the power, speed, and job type settings for specific colors. It can be useful for creating files that have both through cutting and kiss cutting. To engage color mapping, check on the option. The settings will become editable. Speed, power, and frequency can be adjusted like previously. And job types can be selected. Raster and vector will still be determined by the line weight. Air assist should always be on. Once values are properly adjusted, click the arrow button to update the settings. Preset options include 255 red, green, and blue, as well as yellow, magenta, and cyan, but all are in RGB format. You can create and use any color, but the RGB values must match perfectly or the parts will not run. If you are not intentionally using color mapping, leave the option off. Once all settings are properly adjusted, click OK to apply. You will return to the Print Setup window. Click Apply to save settings. Click Print to send the job to the laser engraver. Your job will appear on the screen. Open the lid and place your material on the bed. Try to align flush with the rulers. To manually focus, press Focus on the control panel. The head will automatically move out onto the material. Remove the focus jig from the head and place upside down on the registration pins. On the control panel, use the up and down arrows to move the bed. Adjust the bed height until the material is just touching the focus jig. Remove the focus jig and place it back on the head. On the control panel, press the Reset button. The head will move back to its home position. The home position can be set anywhere on the material. To set the starting origin, begin by turning on the laser pointer. A red dot will become visible on the bed to mark the exact location of the laser. Press XY off on the control panel. You will be prompted if you want XY off. Press Go to confirm. The XY servo motors are now disabled, and you can freely move the laser head to the desired starting point. To set the new home position, press Set Home, then Reset on the control panel. This operation can also be used to ensure the starting point is in the upper left-hand corner. Gently close the lid. With your job loaded, press Go on the control panel. If autofocus was selected, the machine will start by extending the head onto the material. The bed will rise depressing the focus plunger, then lower till the material is at optimal focal length. The laser engraver will begin running the job. Remember to always monitor your job while the laser engraver is running. If you leave a running laser engraver unattended, you will lose your access privileges to the laser engravers. The epilogues will run the engraving process first, followed by any vector cuts. When done, remove your parts. Use a vacuum to remove any small debris. When you are done using the machine, turn off the pneumatic air. At the end of the day, turn the laser engraver off. Log out of the computer, and don't forget your ID card. If you have any questions about the laser engravers, please ask any of our friendly TechSpark staff members.